Hi, I'm Catherine.
And I'm Lynn, and we are a coffee break with
Cat and Mom. Hi, and welcome back to our podcast. Today is episode 5, and it is Halloween. You guys are going to see this later on, but for us it is Halloween. And we're going to be talking about pet peeves today.
I have a few.
So we're not going to be calling out anybody, but we're also going to be calling out people. But before we get into that, we are going to do our coffee review of this episode. Today we went to Paris in Town. I got a iced caramel latte.
You should probably shake it too.
Yeah.
I got an iced vanilla latte because it's actually kind of warm again now here in Florida. It was cold for a couple. I can't say it was cold. It was colder.
Yeah.
For here. It was very refreshing. Yum.
Yeah. I needed a iced latte.
Wake me up because there's trick-or-treating tonight.
Yeah. I'm not going trick-or-treating though. But that was a very good latte. Very refreshing.
Yes.
And it's not too sweet or anything when they put 5 million pumps of caramel.
I know, but it's still creamy.
Yeah.
And I still taste the espresso, so that's really good.
It's good.
But also what we're very excited is their pastries.
And they're actually French there. They actually speak French. You walk in and it looks like the country of southern France.
Yes.
And they have everything like Eiffel Tower, France. They have actual
bottles of wine.
I was gonna get a little keychain because they had keychains with the Eiffel Tower.
The Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
They have lunch and things like that. Yeah, and wine. It's all French. What did I say? French based, French inspired.
Yeah, and they were speaking French when I was in there. Yeah. And oh, you're going for it.
Oh, I'm going for it.
I got a apple puff pastry.
And mine is a fruit. I can't. Okay, it's maybe a big bite. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bite into it actually.
So good.
Wow. So before I even ordered, the lady working there, which I believe is the owner, walked up and was complimenting my shirt and how it matches their I guess their walls. Yeah. And she was so sweet and she helped us pick out what we wanted. It was very good customer service. She was so sweet, and it feels like an actual good what's the word? Good atmosphere, and they actually want to create a connection with their customers.
A client report. Yeah.
And I do want to try that.
Okay.
You want to switch?
Yes.
Yeah. But I give it a 10 out of 10. We've been there multiple times before, and we tried their lunch.
Yes.
And it's so delicious. And their cappuccinos we've tried before as well. And it's amazing.
And they have the best jam from the company Bun Mama. I think it's Bun Mama, which means good mother. And if you go research that story, it is a real story about a lady that I think it's a family. Anyways, they were saving people during the Nazi situation, and they were doing jam, and it comes from there. I mean, read the story. It's unbelievable. I went to check it out. It was not a joke. I read it. I was like, oh my gosh, it was true.
So very authentic, real French food.
Mr. Real.
Oh yeah, she explained to me that they cut up a whole apple and they're
But the pastry is so light. We should have had that before just going for lunch.
Yeah, but
so good.
10 out of 10. Paris in Town. It is right off of Singer Island.
It's PGA and US 1.
Yeah, so go check it out. It's kind of also another hidden gem, and
it's been there forever.
And I guess I never.
And we've never tried it until this year.
But it was
we had
amazing.
to move here to do this. I guess it was awesome. Yeah. Okay, a little weekend review.
Yeah,
while it's Halloween.
Then, yes, and what we're gonna be doing this week. We have some fun stuff going on. Yeah. Tonight I'm going down to Boca to see my friends, and we're gonna go out for Halloween. I'm gonna be Little Red Riding Hood. I wanted to be Harry Potter or Peaky Blinders, but Target had nothing, and Spirit Halloween has nothing. So,
well, I'm not gonna dress up. However, Amelia, my youngest one, her youngest sister, is going to trick or treat. Might be the last year or close.
She looks like she's 15 and she's 11, so they're going to be a little bit hesitant and be like, "What are you doing?"
But she is a fairy, but from The Witcher.
But also, and I don't know if our listeners read, but ACOTAR, A Court of Thorn and Roses.
Yeah.
The book I read, a lot of people are dressing up kind of like those fairies. So
yes, it's just going to be very beautiful. But I'm thinking a little kind of like my last baby, and I think this is her last trick or treating. So, and we're new here, so we found a very cute little neighborhood to go to, and so we're excited. But
it'll be fun. And then
tomorrow
night is the FAU football game against USF, right? USF.
their biggest rival. I don't know.
I don't really follow. I am an FAU student. I don't really follow their football because we haven't been that great at football this season, or the season before, for that matter. But we're gonna go because
maybe a lot of seasons before. But
because Bryce and my little sister, they've never been to a college football game, so
yeah,
they're gonna experience that. Hopefully, we get some people and some students going this time, and actually have an audience.
Well, yeah, but I think it's the one before last home game, so I'm pretty sure there's going to be. I mean,
yeah,
those tickets are sold out quickly. So we're from Iowa, so we've been, the Big Ten games, to see the.
Iowa's
Hawks
crazy.
play.
Yeah,
It is not the same.
No.
I mean, it's still a Division I. It's just not a Big Ten, Big 12 level. But however, I mean, when it's your first time, it's your first time.
too, so it'll be good. We'll have some people from USF come over to FAU to watch it, so there should be a good audience. And then we just have our episode 4 coming out on Sunday.
Yes,
which is every Sunday at 9 a.m. But I think that's it we have for the week.
But today
it's a very fun topic. I'm sure.
Pet peeves.
Yes, I'm sure a lot of you guys will agree on these. And I'm not saying I don't do any of these things. I'm just saying that people that consistently do this stuff really just irks me. But I have it all on my phone. I have it.
No, we wrote him down.
So I think we're going to alternate on our pet peeves. And disclaimer before, I'm not being negative or calling anybody out. This is just, something that I think everybody has their pet peeves, and it's normal. So we're just going to talk about it. So my first one is people that don't have manners. That's a pretty basic one.
Oh yeah, I have that.
People that don't have, we both had that one. And I know some people that will go to restaurants, out to restaurants, and they won't say please or thank you with the waiters or the waitresses, which I was raised to say, may I please, thank you, just the basics.
Look at the waitress in the eye, ask,
and be respectful, because they're also probably stressed and they've got other tables to serve. It's not all about you at the end of the day, I mean, you are paying for the service, but still, being respectful. And then people that don't hold the doors open.
Yes. That I can't. I mean, and I've gotten to the point in my life right now that if I actually am holding, if I go out of my way, if I don't, and then you just walk in and you don't say, okay, everybody's busy and whatnot. But if that person sees me go out of my way and hold the door, and they just walk in, I sometimes, if I'm irritated, then I'd be like, well, you're very welcome. I will say it out loud. I now do this. I mean, that's not much better of me to do this either. I should. It's just
crazy to me that people weren't raised by their parents, or just don't have that engraved in them to have manners.
Just proper, and
just being polite,
and not just I know her boyfriend, he was raised from the South.
Yes,
it's yes ma'am, no ma'am, and whatnot, and he always makes sure that when we saw this when we were in Disney, even with my family being there, my aunts and this and that, my cousins, he was always closing, we were all kind of walking. He always waited to make sure everybody was there, and then he would close the wall, and being behind us, he would hold the doors for everybody. Mm-hmm. He actually makes sure he comes and close the doors and stuff. Even for me too, he will walk in first to make sure. If I'm not in the same car as you, he still checks to make sure that me and Amelia are safe in our car before he leaves.
He's very
little things like this. Maybe this is too much for some people, whatever. But I'm just saying it's not just for man.
Yeah, just the basics.
Women can be cordial and have manners and say please and thank you. My goodness, but I've always said though that the boys should be treating you well and hold the door and this and that. And I think it's great if it's coming back. That would be amazing. I think it's awesome.
Chivalry is not dead. But I think
I think it's fun, and
I think it's a pretty basic thing to ask of a person, is just to be polite. I don't like being in restaurants and having the person that I'm with be rude to the waiter or the waitress, because then then I feel bad, and I feel like I have to overdo overly be polite to make up for
that
their
drives me nuts too. Yes. Continue with restaurants. And that's something the way you were raised, and even with our friends from Iowa as well, because the kids are best friends and we're best friends with the family. The Shimboris, shout out to the Shimboris. They were not allowed when they were babies and little girls to start running in restaurants. I can't stand this. I can't stand kids that start running all over the place in restaurants when, sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's cute. Just grab, everybody has kids that move and whatnot. Just bring them back to their chair and just sit there. And so it's like, I want to enjoy my meal too. So, and that's what we were trying to explain to them. Like they don't want to have you run around. They don't want to see you and it's like funny one time and then come and sit down, and you guys were not allowed to leave your seat anyways, unless we went to the bathroom.
I mean, it's normal for like your 3-year-old kid to want to like move around. But when you're not paying attention to your kid and there's like across the restaurant and then it's somebody else at a different table that has to pretty much watch your kid for them. Nope, like at Disney, that little boy that was like way away from like your parents. And we all know Disney's like not the safest place to have your kid just out and about.
Around. Nope.
So like Bryce and I were keeping an eye on that kid because I was so scared. And I was so mad too at the parents. But yeah, no.
That was one that was like with restaurants. With you were talking about people like not being polite and having manners. When you walk, and then they kind of ran into you or whatnot, and they
don't say excuse me. Yeah.
And then sometimes I'm like, excuse you.
Yeah. There's no self-awareness at all of like your space.
Especially with the phones. That's just terrible.
But my next pet peeve is kind of like it's on the same line of like walking and bumping into you, but it's people who walk slow in the middle of the walkway or they stop in the middle of the walkway. Or like when I was in high school, there'd be like a big group of people who would like they'd all line up and walk down the hallway. So the people like coming this way can't get around them and you can't get around them if you're trying to get to class. And it's just so annoying. Like people that just gather in the middle. Or even at Disney, the huge groups of family that would be in the middle of the walkway.
One thing too, not just group, but like when you walk in, you're like, oh wait, I don't know where I'm going, looking at the map, whatever. You don't stop in the middle because you're just walking behind them, and then you ran into them, and you're like, well, to the side.
Yeah, I mean, because there's like 5 million people going back and forth at Disney, so you gotta move. You gotta like step up to the side really quick.
Yeah. So we have to drive a lot now, going to swim practice down to Boca Raton.
It's like 40 minutes, 50 minutes.
Yeah, every day, back and forth. And for me and for you as well, right? The drivers, but it's
drivers here are terrible.
Terrible. And first and foremost, the signal left and right came for free in the car. I mean, it comes with the car. It was built with the car. Use them. Especially the ones that go fast, and I know you hate those people.
That's actually on my list of pet peeves. Traffic weavers. You are risking not only your life,
everybody else.
And I know some people listening to this right now are traffic weavers. So
this is
a shout out to you. Yeah, sometimes you're late for work, whatever. But like it gets to a point where you're like, there's people who for Instagram will film themselves driving, like traffic weaving for views. Like that is how. One crashes happen and then traffic happens.
And we've seen it this week or last week.
If we could all just come to the same consensus that let's stop traffic weaving.
And if you're going to do this, use your signal.
Yes. Yeah.
That's difficult.
But then when you're like also changing 3 lanes, the person in the 3rd lane isn't going to see you coming from 3 lanes away. And because you're going 80 miles per hour, you're going to end up killing somebody on a serious
let me tell you, there's accidents on 95 here every day. Every single God-given day, there's accidents all day long because of that.
Traffic weavers.
Yeah. And it just kind of also that what happens here is that we have the HOV lane, which is great.
HOA?
Right?
Oh, wait.
HOV.
HOA is...
No, not association fees. No. HOV.
So,
which is awesome, especially during, you have to be 2 people, if people don't know what that means, you have to be 2 people or more, to be in that lane, and it's just to kind of help traffic, to have more people kind of, how do you call this, like car, when you get more carpool. So it's to help this. So anyway, I'm pretty sure everybody knows what that is, but that does not mean because you're 2 or more in your vehicle that you have to be in that lane. Stay in the other 2 lanes. Well, actually here there's like 4 or 5 lanes, but I don't understand why people just want to go in the HOV lane. because there are 2 or more during between 4 and 7, whatever it is, 3 and 7 in the afternoon, and in the morning it's 9 to whatever, 6 to 9. Just don't. If the people in the lane next to you go faster than you,
move over.
move over.
Yeah, like
The
people
left
that
lane is for passing.
Yeah, people that go very slow in the left lane, like
I can't.
do us all a favor, please.
And some people in the HOV, I mean, they're coming in fast, and you see them coming in behind you, and then you're like, I can't move. Like,
especially in South Florida, people will be going fast, and that's where if you don't, I mean, to avoid, I guess, traffic weavers is inevitable. So to avoid that, just move over so that they can just do their thing over here on the left lane.
But even if it's not the HOV lane, the left lane's for passing.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you learn, like first class?
Oh yeah, and the thing is on the interstate, there's signs that say if you're going slow, go to the right.
Yeah.
Like move over.
Left lane for passing only or whatever. I think it's in Kentucky. Remember when we've been driving back and forth? That's what we see.
Or they'll like semi, like why is a semi just casually driving in the left lane?
Yeah. But there's sometimes there, especially at night. But
this isn't even on my list. But now that we brought up semi drivers, Bella and I were driving back from Bella's my older sister. Bella and I were driving back from
Iowa.
Were we driving from Iowa to here or here to Iowa? I don't remember, but it's a 20-hour drive. And Bella wanted to drive through like the full 20 hours. And it was in the middle of the night. And these semi drivers are ruthless. They try to run us off the road. They'd get up like our ass and like ride our car.
Yep.
And then we tried to pass one of the semis, and he got in the middle of the road and like swerved every time we tried to get in front of him. And then they did it to Bryce too when we were driving back from like a concert. I don't understand.
Because they're usually the ones that actually like have their dash cam and they actually catch people doing this.
Yeah, so I was like, why are like
brake, whatever I had this called, the people that do brakes and then brake check-in. Yeah. And they're the ones that are just like, dude, I have a semi, like I'm going to run your car over. So I don't know why, like,
I don't know. They just like to screw with people at night. I'm not calling out all semi drivers, but this has been my experience at night. And I don't know why at night, but
yeah.
It's terrifying.
Especially when they're my 2 baby girls in the car, and then they tell me this later on. That's like, okay, that's great. Like, we wouldn't have been able to find you. This is just terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's one of them as well.
Oh, and it was in the mountains.
Oh, that's
when they were doing that. Like, what are you doing?
Okay, so and this goes for pretty much all the mothers out there. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be the first one to say this, but when you chew gum, when you chew your food, close your mouth. Please close your mouth, especially when you had a long day, and whether it's at work or being a home mom, because I've done both in my life, and then you just hear your kid chewing. When you guys got your braces first, oh my gosh, that was the hardest thing ever.
When I have a cold, and I can't like breathe out of my nose, so I have to chew with my mouth open. I give like a warning to everybody, like guys, just letting you know.
But it's just and I don't want to be because I'm not gonna name names, but I do know adults that do this, and you're in a very nice restaurant and they chew with their mouth open or they talk and I see everything that's in their mouth.
Oh, I hate that.
I can't. I mean,
you lose your appetite and you're like,
I don't get to see like what's going on. But yeah, that's one thing. I mean, and I guess so. Like when you're stuffed up, it's just it doesn't help. But that and gum. I have one of my aunt that was in Disney with us, the one holding the beer. If you've seen that episode, she would be the first one. I would put the gum in my mouth. I didn't even have a chance to actually like chew on it. By the way, close your mouth. Let me chew a couple times to make it smoother. Yeah. And no, she would be. And
people like gum cracking. Like,
oh yeah,
where they like blow the bubble and then like crack the gum.
Thing. Oh yeah, no, that's annoying too. But I will always remember her like, close your mouth. Close your mouth. You're chewing too loud. I'm like, I haven't started, but she was just, that's something she couldn't handle.
Just get it in your head before you start chewing.
I know she can't.
No. Let me think about my next one.
It sounds really good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm worried to like suck my coffee down. So. But my next one I know. I probably should just be eating this with a fork because it's very sticky. Like I got it on my arm and my arm is sticking to the handle.
It's on your shirt too, but that's normal. That's
Wait,
Catherine.
really?
Yeah, that's Catherine.
Yeah, Bryce will be like, "Did you drool again?" I'm like, "No, I just."
She's prone to.
Yeah.
messes. Yeah.
But I'm sure that's somebody's pet peeve, so whatever. My next one is a big one. There's multiple parts to it, but it's when people like are like interrupt me, but not just like in conversation, because I know interrupting is like it happens.
Yeah,
like
I've done it, and I know I have to work on it.
Like everybody,
Guilty.
I feel like everybody interrupts. So like you get like very excited to say something, and then you accidentally like interrupt the person, which is fine. But mine is like when we were at the gym.
Oh yeah.
At Crunch Fitness. All right, like I have a membership there, so I'm not gonna like crap on Crunch Fitness.
Oh, we had no choice because we lost the other
But I was because if you listen to episode 3, unemployed at Disney, you'll know why. So at Crunch Fitness, I was doing hip thrusts, and this trainer, and my mom was taking a video, and this trainer comes over and interrupts my set and my video and like stops me to tell me how to do the hip thrust. And
it's called a booty builder.
Yes, it's a booty builder hip thrust.
Yeah.
And it was like the craziest advice I've ever heard. Like, and it's not. I couldn't even like. I didn't even know.
You were very polite. She was very polite. She was just like, "Oh, okay," like, yeah, but we're trying to, and you were trying to say like we were just holding it up. We were kind of like doing like a rep and then hold down.
Yeah, I was just doing like holds at the top.
Kind of hold it like this on the side. Anyway, she's like, you need to put your feet there and feet there. And it's not the first time we did the machine, but it was not new to us. We've done it before at the other gym. But it's as a chiropractor, the way she was telling her to go down and come back up, and I was like,
no, like not even like somebody who has never lifted before, because it wasn't even on like the like how there's directions on the machine.
How to do
it didn't even like show it on the directions. Like it was some like crazy advice to bring my whole body down, touch the seat, come all the way back up, and I was like,
and the whole time I was like,
I don't even know how to explain it to you guys because I don't even know how to explain it to you guys, but it was just like you're like literally teaching people how to get injured, but whatever, like that. I mean, I guess that's pet peeve too, giving advice when you shouldn't be giving advice. But no, that was very annoying to get my
and then you were trying
interrupted.
You were trying to do it like, because she was not leaving, she was right there, she was not leaving, so you were trying to do it to get her to go away, and
she just stood there.
She's like, no, a little bit lower, and I was like, she's gonna hurt herself, and she's got scoliosis. I'm like, don't do this, don't do it, just stop, just say you're done. And the second she left, she's like, I don't like when people do this to me.
I know.
It was in the middle, literally in the middle of the set.
So
as I'm filming,
I get like people interrupting conversations, but I mean, sometimes there are people who just like continually do it, or like Amelia when you're on the phone, mom.
Yeah.
Mom,
but that's a kid thing. Any mom here that would listen to this, because you did that too. Nobody asks mom a question the second she picks up the phone. Now everybody needs to know something. I mean, it's like, and without even knowing it, I think you still do it.
Oh no, sometimes I do it.
And it's just like, I've been here for like 45 minutes. Nobody wants to talk to me, but now I pick up the phone. Now like all the questions in the world are coming out. That's a mom thing, I guess.
What's worse is like when you're just like mid doing something, like doing homework or doing, and people just like keep interrupting you, and you're trying to do what you want to do or trying to do what you're doing. But what do you think next? Oh, this has to do with the manners. Or did you want to do one?
No, go ahead.
This has to do with manners, and I think you'll really like this or appreciate this one, is when people are, and I'm not saying I'm perfect about this, but when people are on their phones at like a family dinner or like with friends and family out at a restaurant, and you look over and you see a whole group of people just on their phones, or like when I'm out with friends or family and they're like on their phones, and I'm like, you're going to spend all this money at a restaurant for you to go on your phone instead of like, there's a reason why you went out is to like spend that quality time with those people.
I remember going out. It was at a swim meet. We were out for dinner. It was not at a home meet. We were, somewhere else. And I'm not sure Amelia was with us, but we had at least Bella and you. And the table behind us, there were 4 people, like, husband, wife, son and daughter. And the 4 of them were on the phone. And I remember it's one of you 2 that says, look, Mom, like, how sad is this? And it was so sad. That's all they did. It was there on their phone. Why are you stay home?
Yeah.
Get the food to go. I mean, you're saving a boatload of money.
And we used to have you made a no phone rule when we'd be at the pool at the old house,
Yeah.
we'd have a phone basket when we do like big like friend sleepovers, and we'd have everybody like put their phone in a basket. Obviously, if there's when we're like in the pool, like obviously.
But no, it was like one of the first birthday party, and I don't know if it was yours or Bella's. Their birthdays are like 15 days apart. Not planned, but anyway, it's Christmas all over again when it's their birthdays. But side note there. But
Yeah.
I remember you guys came in. Oh, we were doing tie-dye shirts. I don't know which birthday that was. I think it was
I don't
Bella's.
remember. Yeah.
And I had a basket made, and I was like, I don't want anything to happen to the phones, with this and that. And all the parents were dropping off the kids, and because you guys were on the verge of being able to drive, I think that's what it was. So parents would come in. Of course, they were all swimmers from the swim team, so we all knew each other. So we, hung out. And one of the mom, and it was Zoe's mom, that said, "This is the most brilliant thing. I should have thank you." And that was the only girl that did not want to give my phone, give me her phone. And the mom said, "Put the phone in the basket." And I was like, "They're right here. I mean, if there's an emergency, come and see." I mean, I know first most of the parents stayed anyway, so it's just because we were having kind of a little party on the side. But and then it was outside.
Eventually like stayed.
And I had all the chargers.
Like,
everybody could plug their phones.
These were girls that were like sisters to me. Like we spent every day together, so it wasn't like it's not something that like made them uncomfortable. It was normal for them.
Half the time they were sleeping at our house anyways, but and then it was
I like that.
It was perfect. We had ready for them, and it was all by where we had like the TV and this and that outside, and so I thought that was great. And actually, there's some. I mean, that could be something you guys want to try within friends and stuff. But I know that when I would go out and let's say for lunch or dinner, we're just moms. Well, everybody has their phone out, and she will tell you, my phone is always out here because I have kids, and you never know, especially when you have sitters at home or things like that, or you were babysitting late and you needed a. So all the moms had their phones on, like right here, but nobody was touching their phones. This is unless like, oh crap, like Isabella's calling me, oh crap, like so and so is calling me. That's fine, but otherwise we were not. But there was a little, I don't want to say not competition, but it was. I mean, it was men and women. They all had to put their phones in the middle of the table, and whoever picked up the phone first before the end of the night, for a reason that was not because somebody called or kids or whatever, they had to pay the tab or they had to buy a round or this and that. And you could tell some people like, oh, I need to crap. And then
that's so smart.
I thought that's very smart. That's fun.
That'd be cool.
That's cool.
That would be fun. But no, that's a huge pet peeve of mine. It's like be present with your friends, especially like when it's just us college girls. Like this is a lot of money for us, so like let's enjoy it. And then
take your 55 million
most
pictures.
Of my friends don't.
And then,
most of my friends don't do that, but that I feel like I need to throw that in because I usually like see other families and stuff on their phones, or sometimes like I'll catch myself on my phone and I'll be like, like what am I doing?
Yeah,
let me put it down. But
I will say, her boyfriend Bryce, that you guys saw if you watched the other episode, Disney one, he is on his phone here. He watches so many.
He watches a lot of like he's an iPad kid. He watches his YouTube videos while he eats.
Yeah, or sometimes he's watching like a series or whatever. And, but so it's all on his. But not when he eats with us at the table. No. Or if we're in a restaurant, I never see his phone. Like it's not even on the table. Okay, so one other pet peeve, and it's not like it happens, right? I mean, everybody has kids that have like a stuffy nose, and then they walk out and they have snot running here, and like the kids don't care, and it just kind of. Yeah, I had to wipe your nose. I mean, that was one thing. If there's like, somebody like, come here, so my kids were very good at blowing their nose at an early age because I taught them that right away. But
Kleenex,
there we go. Like, and I had Kleenexes everywhere.
Just jumped out of the water.
Everywhere, in the house, in the car, we always had Kleenexes for that reason. But there was one little kid that would come to our house, and bless his heart, he was so amazing. But like, it was green.
Yeah,
it's green.
Snot running down his face,
and it was like stuck here, and then, thick. Like, I couldn't. And then he would walk
trying to lick it.
Wipe it. See, nasty. So I remember every time he would walk in, I go, stop right here. Let me wipe your nose. And he didn't like it, but at the end, I just think he knew that's the step in. I'm getting into Miss Lynn's house. I'm not moving. She's gonna wipe my nose.
I don't get how a parent just like.
It just
watches,
I guess I don't know. It's the way you're being brought up. I guess I it's different, which is fine. It's just like I didn't want him to do
it gets
this.
it just gets to a point when you got snot all over your kid's face, and I'm like,
and it's
the poor
here,
thing.
and I just did not want him to do this and put it on something in my house. Anyway, so I took care of that.
Snotty
But
toys.
then that's kids. But when you're now an adult and not all the time, I can't.
Kleenex.
She knows.
She'll say, I do it sometimes because like sometimes I don't want to walk over to the Kleenex box, and she's like, Kleenex.
I can't. Or when Isabella, and you just put makeup on, and of course that's when it starts kind of to drip or it tickles or stuff. They'd be in the car. Isabella would be doing something like makeup, Kleenex, and she'd be like, I just put my makeup on. Put it in your nose and get it out. I don't know, but and then and not to bring Bryce up. We're gonna have to.
Bryce said that you told him that like he was sniffling, which he was sniffling,
but he was but he can't hear it because he was making his food. He had
with his earbuds in, and he was like, and but a lot. I looked across the room, and you were looking at me, and I was like, Bryce, grab a Kleenex.
No, I texted you.
Yes,
tell Bryce to grab a Kleenex,
and I was like, Bryce, Kleenex.
One time I did say, if you need a Kleenex, it's right there, right? Like we have boxes right here.
Yeah.
But that's something. So, and Amelia even knows better. She usually will bring a box with her in the car if she's kind of congested or something. But I can't. I mean, doesn't that bother you? I mean, does that bother you? I mean, I would like to have my nose not drip.
Guys, let me know if that bothers you. Does
no, but
snotty noses.
But wouldn't that bother you that your own nose is kind of dripping? I mean, wouldn't you want to try to grab anything?
Yeah.
Like anything.
It just really like big point on the kids thing now.
Oh, I can't even imagine. Can you imagine being a teacher? Like your sister Bella wants to be a teacher.
10 kids with snotty noses.
And the fact that they do this, all the time. Like, I mean, bless you guys, teachers. I mean, just being an elementary school teacher.
Sanitize everything.
Oh my gosh, to be from like kindergarten, like pre-K and whatnot. I mean, you guys are first angel in the first place, but to deal with this, especially during the winter, and then during the winter, it kind of freezes.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
And then your nose gets dry. But back to I totally forgot to bring this up when we were talking about like phones. But back to the phones. I have multiple points on this. Okay. I guess phones are just like a huge problem here for me. But when people talk out loud on their phones, like it could be at the gym if you're playing something out loud on your phone with no headphones. It could be if you're just in public on the phone without it like on speaker and you're talking loud, or if you're on FaceTime and you have no headphones and you're yelling into your phone.
Yeah.
And there was an instance where I was doing an hour on the stair stepper because I try to do that like once a year, is like just the hour stair stepper challenge. And of course I forget my headphones, and the lady next to me is on FaceTime for the whole entire like time that I'm on the stair stepper on FaceTime, like yelling into her phone. And I was like, no, please no.
Can I come back to it later? Yeah. But at the gym that we used to go to, there's this gentleman, and he was I think he's got like 2 or 3 times somebody told him
somebody
to not do that. It's, we would go like really early, like crocodile in the morning, like we would wake up at 5:30, get to the gym, and his girlfriend had the headphones, and he would do whatever, let's see, tricep extension, and on the floor would be his phone listening out loud to the news. And right now it's like, politics right now, like the elections, if this is Halloween, the elections are next Tuesday. It was out loud at like 6:30 in the morning. Like,
and I hear like Kamala and Donald at 6 a.m. and I'm like, I just want to listen to music.
I know. And then he would walk away to do another machine. He would leave this
and there, it's blasting the news
out loud. It was just
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead. We just talked about that.
Yeah. This lady went up to him and was like, can you like turn that down? And he was like, no, like this is what I want to listen to. The music here is terrible or something like that.
She did tell him, like,
and she's like, all right, well, like bring headphones. And he didn't listen. He didn't care. There's like gym etiquette is a big thing. And I think that within gym etiquette, I have a lot of pet peeves, like not putting your weights away.
Oh, I
did work at a gym. Like put your weights away. I get like if you leave a plate on leg press, but when you have 10 plates on leg press, like nobody's gonna do that. Nobody's gonna get down and just rep that out as their first set.
No.
So just gym etiquette in itself. I'm not even gonna get into it.
If you are able to stack up like 10, 45 plates on each side, because you can press that whatever how many times you want to press it,
you can take the
you
weight
can
off.
take them off.
Yep.
Because little me here, I cannot do that. I
Like
mean,
the workout is taking the plates off, but
I mean, that's actually that is a workout.
it is a workout. I'm like, you're making me do a separate workout with my workout.
But, and then the new gym though that we go to now, I haven't seen it that much, except like maybe like you said, like you leave a 45 or a whatever, but
yeah,
it's been good. But the gym we were at before, oh my gosh, first thing in the morning, and this guy was not wiping off his seat, and he was not just sweating, he was dripping sweat, not wiping off his seat, jacking up everything, and then we needed to use one machine.
He left his weights out on like 4 different machines.
Yeah, and then hand weights, not even putting
he put the 55s back in the 5s.
In the 5s.
And so, I worked at this gym. So I was like, are you serious?
Because you see like a little old lady and coming in, like she can't move the 55. I mean,
no,
we don't even know where the 5 was at that point. But I went on to remove the weights to put what we wanted to put in, and he literally just looked at me. He's like, "Oh, I guess I did that. That was my bad."
Oh, and then he did the same thing another day too.
Yeah, and I was like, really? Because I unracked like 3 of your other machine, and I said, well, it'd be great if you would do it.
I feel like we need to do another pet peeves podcast in the future, because like I'm just like shooting them off in my head right now.
Oh yeah, from the gym.
Like, I have especially with the gym. Like the gym itself needs like its own episode, because there's so many people that like have no courtesy in the gym. But that is for another day.
Wait, I went early in the morning last couple of days ago because I had an appointment in Boca, so I had to drive, and with traffic in the morning, so I went really early. The one here that we went early in the morning was busy, but really, really not busy. I mean, really busy for that, but it was really not busy. And it's a big gym, so it looked really empty. That one, a little bit before, I think it was 6:20. Every single machine, everything was, except the platforms to do squats and deadlifts and stuff. That was the only thing I was not, taking. And everybody's doing their own thing, right? People that work out early in the morning usually is because they're going to work. They have shit to do. Pardon my French. Yeah. They're just in and out. Some people take showers and get ready and go straight to work and whatnot. And then you have the ones that have nothing else to do but talk loud and take all their sweet ass time in every single machine, because they're a group and we're going to talk and we're going to text. And you're like, can I do a rep? I mean, how many do you have left? Like, can I do a set? Whatever. And then they talk so loud. So everybody has to listen to them. I was like, oh my God, I didn't have my headphones either. Yeah. I was like, I don't need to know. I don't need to know your life right now. Like, I just woke up, literally rolled out of bed, brushed my teeth, left. Like, oh, I can't.
We gotta do a whole nother podcast. So guys, tune in, because there might be another one. And
we might bring Bryce on that one.
Yeah, send in like your guys' pet peeves, and we'll talk about that. Or
because you might have pet peeves towards women too, and that could help us out too.
Send us some pet peeves, and we'll talk about it, and maybe we do some of those pet peeves. So maybe we'll have to work on that. But my next one is again with the phones. I love the movie theater. Did you want to go first?
No, I had one with the phones too. Go ahead. I had another one.
The movie theaters. I love the movie theaters. I love going to watch like a new movie. Like it's a whole experience. You go get your popcorn, your icy, and like candy.
Your
and
icy.
Sit there and it's just so much fun. You're in your comfy chair.
Yeah.
I love it. But when I go with people who don't appreciate it as much as I do, and they bring their phone and they sit there on their phone, even if the movie is boring to me, I will continue to sit there and appreciate the experience, because it's not just a movie.
Or
it's
leave.
An experience. And but no, I won't even leave if I don't even like the movie. Like I'll keep watching it.
No, I'm just saying, if you are so bored and you have to be on your phone while you're in the movie theater, leave.
No, or don't go, because if I know multiple people. Sorry, Ice. She knows. She knows I get so mad about this. She knows I get so mad about this. She'll go on her phone during the movie, and I know other people that do this, but like when they go on their phone during the movie and you got the bright screen and they're not paying attention, and especially if it's a good movie and you're so into it and you want the person next to you to be as into it as you, but they're on their phone like scrolling, and it is very distracting.
it's disrespectful. We all paid a lot of money. I mean, movies
Yeah.
now, when we go 4 of us, it's over $50 in tickets,
Yeah.
and then it's like close to $50 in food.
And you want the people to also experience it, like,
Yeah.
and enjoy it. So, and you spent your money for that. So,
And to continue with
Live
the
up to it.
phones and talking out loud is, so we had just moved you here, and I think you stayed there because Amelia was with us. So I know Amelia was with us when we moved you here, and we went to the restaurant Peeves, which is close to your campus. My
Mhm.
mom really loves to go there, so we went to eat there for lunch, and we were just, like kind of sad. So we had a little glass of champagne, and Amelia was having her Shirley Temple, and the table right next to us, a lady was waiting for her friend, and she was talking on her phone like this, FaceTime, but not looking at I could see the person on the phone, but she couldn't because she was talking like this to listen, and then doing this to see what she was responding in this. And then the friend came, and then I was like, okay, that's going to stop, right? Because her friend is like, well, no, because the friend did the same thing on her phone. So then you could hear them. It's like, I can't hear what you're saying because, let's see, Catherine's talking too. And then she would do this. And so, oh my gosh, it got to a point that everybody around us were just like, are you? And I don't think we told our waiter, but you could see a bunch of, tables doing that. And they can say, well, we can't hear. He's like, ma'am, just step out if you have to. You can't speak on speaker, on your phone. But it was not speaker, it was FaceTime. And they were both doing it while eating lunch together.
That's crazy.
With 2 other people.
That's crazy.
I thought that was like so.
That's really living in the moment. But
Do you want to taste?
we have to talk about how when we were in London on the train, and the lady was speaking in another language, extremely loud on the phone, very loud, very expressive, like getting really into this conversation. And
it had to be like Japanese or
I don't know, but
yeah.
You have to say what my grandma said.
Oh yeah. So and then she said it in French, but out loud. I think it was so funny because we were not.
It's so funny in the moment, like
yes, because we were not. I think we had our luggage with us, didn't we? We were leaving.
Yes.
Yeah, we were leaving Henley-on-Thames
to go to
towards London. So we had. It's with all the luggage and stuff that we kind of were almost like one person per kind of row. So we were not really sitting together. And I remember, she was not sitting with anybody. She was on her own. And I will say my mom doesn't think she's funny, but sometimes she will blurt shit out
stuff, and I'm like,
so
did she just say that?
Yeah. Well, at the restaurant with the wine too, I have to say that. But she was just sitting there, and we're all in our little moments. I think I was reviewing like some pictures. Yeah. We're all excited. We're going to London and this and that. I mean, so and then the ladies, after talking so loud, and then she kind of stopped, and my mom, out of nowhere in French, says like, "Yeah, she must have been right. No, she was right. No, wait. Yeah, I'm sure she was right."
Or like, "Oh yeah, very true." Something like that.
No, something that she was correct or she was right, but out of nowhere,
just sitting over there, just like out loud, and we were all like,
she was right.
And all of us turned around and we're like,
did she just say that?
And then we had like a lag for a second, like trying to process what just happened. And then we all burst out laughing. And I was like, no way, my grandma just.
And she's just like,
so
what?
Funny.
And I'm like, did you know you just said that out loud? She's like, she probably thought that
I think she doesn't really care anymore. She just.
Who cares? Yeah. I mean, but it was kind of rude. So it was just like, I mean, if you were with somebody else and you have a conversation and you're all like, excited and stuff, but it was all over the phone, and just like, yeah, I'm sure she was right. That was right, whatever. We did say something like that too when, so we drink wine and we were at a restaurant.
Yeah.
We still to this day can't remember exactly.
I cannot remember what she said.
But it was.
The lady couldn't open the wine bottle.
Yes.
Or the younger girl, it was her first day, right?
Yeah.
She couldn't open the wine bottle. We felt so bad, but you guys were speaking in French about how she was not doing good trying to open the bottle, and I think you were about to offer like the help and open it for her, which she was very sweet.
She was very sweet. There was nothing against her.
But then she went to pour the wine into each of our glasses.
And she poured maybe this to my mom.
Yeah, it was like this compared to like this, which if you're listening to audio, it's like there's a huge dramatic difference in between all of our glasses. And
we're talking ounces.
She put so much wine into my grandma's glass. And my grandma said something like, "Oh, I must have needed it," or maybe she thinks I need something like. Yeah, I don't remember what she said.
Clearly, she doesn't know how to make it even, but maybe I needed the most or whatever. It was, but it's because she never said stuff like that, and then she blurts it out, and of course, the poor girl.
But she says it in French, so the girl doesn't know what she said. So I'm trying not to laugh
Me
and
too.
choke on like my water that I was drinking, and
Because we did not want her to feel bad because she probably thought like she
We were
just said
talking,
something
yeah.
about me. And
I'm
she
trying to
was,
hold
but not
back.
in a mean way. But
Yeah.
the second she walked away,
I was having such a hard time holding in my lap. I was like, but
little does she know, Memi is very, that's how we
Yeah.
call her. Memi is very funny.
that was a little off-topic tangent. I guess that has to do with like the phones for a
Yeah,
second.
I had
but
to do with the phones.
my last pet peeve. I don't know if you have any other pet
No,
peeves.
I'm sure
But
sure we're gonna
yes.
be done with the episode. I'll be like, oh my gosh, I should have talked
Yeah.
about that.
I'm sure you're gonna agree on this one.
Okay,
But
oh, no, I do.
what's your last? No, you do yours for.
No, you go.
Okay, so mine is shit talkers.
Yeah, that's what you're gonna say.
My old boss who fired me because she doesn't know the laws apparently in Florida and illegally was paying us under the minimum wage, and fired Bryce and I for calling her out for that.
There was no reason why you were being fired.
Yeah, there's
just got
the
fired.
whole details on that for episode 3, Unemployed at Disney again. But she called one of my coworkers skinny fat, and this girl is from Brazil, and so there's like a language barrier, and all my ex-boss said was, well, in our country we call people like you skinny fat. Who says that? And one, this girl was so tiny. She had a great body, and called her skinny fat, and I was like actually my jaw dropped.
Yeah, there was no with this woman. There was no, because it was a woman, girl, like women building women.
There's no woman sporting women.
No,
she would hate on every single one of her clients because she's a personal trainer, and I understand you probably deal with crappy people, but it's your clients and you want the best for them, and she would she'd say terrible things about them. And then the girl that owned the clothing business that came in.
Oh my gosh, she was
Oh my gosh,
the
she's
sweetest, beautiful body. I mean, she
Just
was showing
stunning.
us how she was stunning and she was beautiful inside and out. She was such a beautiful soul.
Yeah.
And she showed us like a bodysuit, like a one piece kind of workout thing in which she's like, it would look good on you. And she kept saying that it would look good on me. And I was like, it's really not sure.
Oh, actually, we should shout them out. It's Uniquely You. Correct?
Uniquely You, yes.
Uniquely You.
Which, go check it out. It's beautiful. It's very, and now at the new gym, we see some people wearing like, one piece suits. And bless her heart, she really wanted me to try one. I'm still not sure, and she's like, look, I had it on. They were doing a shooting. She's one of the models for the company. And she was actually doing deadlifts, I think, or squats. I can't remember what it was.
She showed a video to us of her doing deadlifts.
And oh my gosh, she's like,
amazing form.
Like no fat on her. She was just like, and then
she's ripped.
Yeah, and then this ex-boss just said like, well, whenever you want to start, working out right,
something like that, you'll start to see your body change, or like you'll start to like really see when you start to really work out, you'll see your body change how you want it to look, or something like that. And
it's Bryce that heard it
and came over and told us and was like, I cannot believe I just heard that. And
he's a guy.
Yeah.
And it was just condescending as hell.
Yeah.
And then I was working out and I saw her and she was like, and I stopped. I said, I'm sorry. I already told her, I said, I'm going to go talk to her. And I said, I just want to let you know, like, we just heard what happened. I can't stand people like this. If you have nothing nice to say, keep it to yourself. Like, you're not helping.
And also the fact that you're putting her down when she's clearly stunning. Like, what do you,
she was cut in a feminine way. Her body was like, just absolutely beautiful. But like I said, she was such a beautiful person.
Yeah, and either way,
and whether
you don't work out or not, you don't say that. You don't say that somebody the way she said it, because clearly it was said in like a
comment on her
passive aggressive way.
Yeah, and passing comment on her clothing.
Oh yeah, said that. This is like not unique at all. The business is called Uniquely You, so clearly you're like,
I've never seen clothes like that.
It was very unique, and it was very pretty and beautiful.
And I had to go and tell her. I said, just so you know, like a woman to woman here, you're absolutely beautiful. I don't know why she said something mean like this, but you just showed me how you work out, and it's just. I mean, I have 3 girls, and you have to stay positive, and that, you all go through a phase during your life that you maybe, when your hormones hit, you start having more hips, and then you're not really like, Amelia now, she's, younger and starting to change, and like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then eventually you just like, you settle, So it's, or like you have a baby, you're trying to lose weight afterwards. I don't know what was her life, what was going on. But
everybody's
the thing is, like,
all
she
bodies
actually
are beautiful.
looked beautiful. It's like nobody was good enough for it. And that's shit talk. People that talk people down all the time.
Yeah, she was just an example. But people that, like, there's a lot of girls in high school that I don't know if they find validation in this or they feel insecure, which is very sad because there's always a reason for people's actions. So,
Yeah.
But people that just always have to bring down their friends or bring down somebody that they think, like, even if they maybe deep down think that girl's prettier than them, they'll put them down and make them feel better. Or I knew people that would just always have something to say about anybody and everybody. And it would just get exhausting constantly being around somebody who's so negative and puts other people down. And then you eventually, like, I've fallen into that though. Like, when you're surrounded by people who are shit talkers, eventually you conform to that slowly and you start to do it. And I feel so guilty after I do it. And that's why I surround myself with people who are positive and uplift each other. So, but that's a huge
And I'll be
pet peeve of
guilty
mine.
to see that. I probably like scare people or I don't know, like make people uncomfortable. But if I see a beautiful person, like the lady yesterday was our waitress, the bartender.
Oh yeah,
last
she's
night.
beautiful. Yeah,
She was beautiful, no makeup, not even 1 ounce of makeup, beautiful hair, and I really liked her outfit. Like it was a sports, whatever. I've never seen it. Maybe it was uniquely you. Maybe it came from there. I don't know. And I just went and told her. She's like, "Oh my gosh, thank you." Or
it never hurts to go compliment somebody. I remember at like the FAU gym, I'd always, if I saw a girl's outfit and it was pretty or she looked gorgeous, I would always like go up and say something because it'll make somebody's day.
Oh, I mean, we just said that in the car yesterday. How like somebody just said like how beautiful you were. They called us like love.
Yeah.
Have a good day, love, or whatever.
Yeah, I love
when
people call me hun or love. It makes me
you
feel
just like,
so,
oh my gosh, you kind of just feel good. Like, I don't know you, but thank you.
Yeah.
Or the lady that went for a oil change, and she told me, she said, no, you remind me of a actress, and she couldn't come up with the name and stuff. And she's like, like your shape, you give like your eyebrows and stuff. And I'm like, oh my, and I had no makeup on. Like I literally just needed to do this before we drove to Orlando. And she's like, you have no makeup. She's like, girl. And she's just like, when you get your lashes on and this and this, like, you're just gorgeous. I was like, oh my gosh, you made my day. Thank you. You don't know, maybe I was completely down that morning and I just needed this. She actually changed my day. My day was just so much more positive after this, and it was just a nice little compliment. So yeah.
So I mean, don't be the shit talker, and if you're surrounded by people who all negative, like even if they bring you down, because I know I've been in friend groups where they bring me down, and I don't know why I stayed in that type of environment. But it's good to recognize it and find people and surround yourself with people that are positive and leave comments like that.
I appreciate. See, I just cut you off. I appreciate that at your age that you recognize this, because some stuff like that comes with experience. That eventually things that happens in your life, you just think at different maturity level, and like it. I'm more of a part right now. Like if you don't, unless I'm completely like hurting myself or my family or whatever, like, that would like somebody to stop me. But otherwise, do you. And I don't care if you don't like what I do, or if you don't agree, or if you people will pass comment and people will be jealous and people will be negative. Just do you and believe in yourself and go for it. And for you at your age, and some of your friends already recognize this, and your sister, it's huge, because it will be like that the rest of your life. And it's just, I still like that for me. But and then that includes, like, I think that was our last
the
one,
one-uppers.
The one-uppers, which has to do with that too. Like,
people that. What was my example that I gave yesterday when we were talking about it?
I don't know, like something.
Wait, let me make sure that.
Like, I went. Oh, because you went to London, and then she said, "Well, how many days did you stay?" And we're like, "Oh, it was like a week."
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, well, I'm going to Europe for a month." It's just people that try to outdo you, like with what you're talking about. It's like, I just have like really like bad anxiety right now and had a panic attack, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, yes, I know." Like I always get those, but like I had to go to the hospital, and they like try to outdo you, and I'm like, that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
but just like, like for us, it was huge to go to. I think it was maybe 10
it was
days,
like the best week of my life. Like, and I wasn't gonna let a one-up or freaking make me feel bad about it. I was like, all right.
That it was.
I was like, okay, awesome. Like, go have fun. Yeah.
I mean, I would love to be there for a month.
yeah,
Don't get me
but
wrong.
I was
but,
there
you
for
know,
a week, and I'm still happy about it.
Yeah,
So-
it was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a hard time. Yeah, when you
But-
start singing, and I, and you know,
And
there's
I'm
always
like,
something
okay.
bigger.
Like, I just won't talk anymore. Then if
That's
this is a
usually when you-
competition, it ends up being a competition
Mhm.
every time. But I think that's. I don't know if that was a very positive episode today, but
No, but
I
it's
mean,
a funny. It's
yeah,
not
it's
just
funny.
positive,
It is
it's
very
funny
funny.
because listen, we have to deal with this like every day, all
Yeah.
day, every day,
and you just find the, I guess,
the funny
the
and all
joke
this.
out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is all we have for today. We kind of went on a lot of tangents about our pet peeves, and it turned into some funny stories. But I hope you like this episode. And
Shout out to Paris in town.
Paris in Town.
That's
We're
really
gonna be
good.
going back for sure. We've already gone there, so
Long
loved
Beach
it.
Garden.
10 out of 10. Go subscribe on our YouTube at a coffee_break, on our Instagram at a coffee.break, and our link in bio to access our link tree. We're on Amazon Music, Pandora, Spotify, and then follow us on Spotify. Leave us comments if you like anywhere, and give us a like, subscribe. Yeah, I already said all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
But
my
wait,
gosh.
We don't leave until we do Would You Rather.
Yes.
So, Catherine, would you rather be an unknown superhero or a famous villain?
Okay, so obviously, being a unknown hero, you're doing good for the world, and like that's awesome. You're doing good, and that's what we should be here to do, is to do good. But then also being a, what is it, a famous superhero or
Famous villain.
famous villain, like that's kind of badass. Like okay, what I'm thinking of when I hear like a famous villain is all like the popular villains went to a Prada runway show. I think it's Prada, a runway show, and it was so
The Man?
the
I
man.
saw
It was
the Man.
so
Yeah,
cool.
that was so cool.
It was so cool.
Yeah, I saw that too.
But because I'm a good person, I'm gonna go with unknown superhero. But because I'd have superpowers, so I don't even care if I'm unknown or not,
Yeah.
or known.
So you're
And
helping.
I'm doing
You're
good,
helping
but
the
I have
world. So there you
superpowers.
go.
But that's all I'm thinking of in my head is like the villains running that runway show, and it was so cool.
That was so cool.
It was badass.
I have to admit.
But yes, that's all we have for today.
Awesome. We'll
we
see you next week.
Yep, love you guys.
Bye.